Sometimes you can track animals and know where they are. If you're trying to look at maybe endangered wildlife or trying to figure out population or something like that. Okay? This system has a huge impact on our society. You know, we use it with safety, military, navigation. We use it with businesses, farming, structural improvements. Farming. How can we use GPS with farming or any kind of locations with farming? Any ideas? Farming. Israel? Put your hands down, okay? Thank you. What do you think?
Where your fields are and stuff, if you're out in the location.
Sure, maybe you want to know if you have crops or something like that. You have acres and acres and acres of land, correct?
Yeah.
If you want to know where, you know, a particular plant or, you know, food group or something that you're growing, it might be nice to know there. There are other reasons too, right? Awesome. That's a good thought. But let's reflect again on how a GPS is kind of used. It's something called triangulation. Okay, and yeah, you guys can follow along with me on the iPad screens. Okay, so triangulation. I know we sort of talked about this, but I wanted to give you a visual. So here we go. This is the world. And you see all these little guys out here? They're called satellites. Okay, there are about 30 satellites orbiting the globe right now. Okay, all you need is 3 of them to talk to each other. Okay, so here's kind of like a little picture of just, you know, 3 of them enclosed. So what happens is this satellite talks to this satellite, talks to this satellite, and then down comes your message of what you're trying to find. Oh, so let me give you an example. Here's my cell phone right now, okay? I'm going to do something right now. I think I'm just going to go to Facebook, and I'm going to do something you guys probably always do. I'm going to check in. Where does it say that I am? Anybody ever check in on Facebook? Nobody ever checks in?
My mom does.
Maybe it's an older people thing, like my age thing. I'm not going to call myself old, but like nobody in here checks in. So like whenever you're at a place and you want to let people know, like instead of posting a status, you check in and it lets people know where you're at. Like if you want to say, oh, I'm at the circus right now, I'm checking in at that circus. I'm at the Reds game, you check in down at the stadium. So right now I just hit check in and literally, what pops up right there? What do you see?
Goshen Middle School.
How did it know I was at Goshen Middle School?
You guys really don't check in.
Do you check in, Lori?
I don't, but all my friends do.
Yeah. You guys, what's the big thing that you guys do? You guys are Instagrammers. Do you tweet?
No.
Twitter? You don't do tweet or Twitter? What's the thing? Instagram's the thing now? And Twitter? So is there a way for you to check in on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that? It's probably better because my husband, he won't let me check in when we're on vacation because he said then everybody will know that we're not home. So it could be a bad thing. But literally what's happening right now when I said check in, here's what happened to my phone. My phone was like, do-do-do-do. It's the phone's ringing. It's calling the satellites up here and it's saying, hey satellites, can you tell me where I'm at right now? So the satellites talk to each other and they say, yeah, you know, I think that she's here. And then they talk to this one and they talk to this one and they said, boom, 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 back down to Mrs. New cell phone. You are at Goshen Middle School. Okay? So that's how they talk. Okay, to be a little bit more technical and a little bit more math-ical, I guess you could say. Basically what happens is your GPS receiver, how it knows where you're at, is when it talks to each other, it's basically sending signals to each other and it's calculating the distance from one satellite to the other satellite. And distance can be measured in time. So it's saying like however long it takes for me to get your signal or your message, okay, that's how I can pinpoint where your location is. So the 3 satellites talk and however long it takes for that next satellite to get the message, they say, this must be your distance, this is where you are located on this earth. Very, very technical, but very cool, I think. Okay? Question?
When you check on Facebook and you're in Australia?
And you're in Australia?
Yeah.
It'll say you're in Australia. It literally will. It'll tell you exactly. Now, here's the cool thing was when I said check in, it didn't just say Goshen Middle School. It said Jim Brown Stadium. You know what? That's in the back. Okay, it's right there at the football field. It also said Spalding Elementary School. Now these places aren't exactly where I'm at right now, but it's kind of calculating other places that are around me. I wonder if like there's a restaurant on here. McDonald's, Goshen Fire Department. These things are just right up the road, but it's just saying, hey, you're near these places. I mean, I think that's just amazing that you can track where you are by these satellites that are not anywhere close to us. What's that?
Kind of creepy.
Or creepy, yeah. Or how could it be dangerous? Because it is a little bit. What do you think, Gavin?
Like people can know where you're at, and
They can know where you're at.
they could come and do something to you.
Like what if I say, oh, I'm all alone and I'm hanging out at the park right now, you know? I don't think that hopefully you're not friends with any people that are creepers, but you never know, you know? So it could be dangerous. Yeah. All right, bringing you guys back here. Focus. A variety of people use these GPS receivers on a daily basis. The military personnel, surveyors, boaters, pilots, hunters, hikers, lots of people. I know I just mentioned military. How does the military use GPS or something? Okay, when you say you know, just keep your hand raised and I'll call on people. I'm giving everyone a chance to answer, okay? So let's think about that question. The question was, how can the military utilize GPS or use GPS? Dalton, what do you think?
Find someone.
To find someone, right? If they're trying to, who would the military be looking for? Maybe someone that's wanted, or if an FBI type of case. Who else could they be looking for, Kayla? Someone they're fighting, right? If you're in the military, we're at war, people. If they're looking for somebody, maybe they don't want to know where the enemy troops are, right? Unknown territory. A lot of people are over there in Afghanistan right now. They don't know their way around. It's kind of nice to have that. Junior, what were you going to say?
Thanks for my answer.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Michael?
Also to find someone that's been lost.
Yeah, and they're a troop, right? A lot of times, troops, they get separated from each other. And it's nice to have that so that they can keep an eye on that person, because maybe that person that's lost, they can't just go wandering somewhere and say, here I am, because, they have to hide a lot of the times from the enemy. This is real life. Mackenzie? Yeah, like I don't know my way around this country. I'm in unknown territory. I need to get over to the next U.S. military base, right? So they use their, navigation. All this is great. All this is awesome. Okay, a couple of things. Did you know that GPS, it was developed by the military at first. Only the military was allowed to use it. And a lot of times that's how things happen. But now it's more developed and they're just saying, hey, this is a great tool. Everybody can use it. We talked about before it could be used for drivers like us. If I need to go to Eastgate Mall, I can just put my directions in, although I know how to get there. But if I didn't, it would tell me how to get there. Hunters. How do hunters use GPS? Sydney?
To track down the place where they're looking for animals.
So, like, how do they know where the animals are? You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be like, where are the animals? And like your GPS tells you. What do you think happens? Because you're right. But how do you think it happens? How do you think they go about finding the animals if they don't if they don't have a cell phone? You know what I mean?
They can search the animal online. What they're looking for.
Probably not. You are on the right track. Can anyone kind of help her, extend that a little bit? Faith?
I was going to say they can see where
Oh yeah, properties. There definitely are just certain areas that you can hunt in. Maybe it's different parks or different zones. So you can use the GPS just to make sure that you're in the right area. Okay. What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah. Never mind?
forgot what she said.
Can anyone finish her thought though? Sydney, she was saying like hunters can use it to track animals, but I was trying to say like animals don't have cell phones for you to say, oh, they're located there. How can you find? Okay, now you got your thought?
Track, like, look for tracks on the ground and stuff.
You what?
Tracks on the ground, like footprints.
Tracks them down?
Tracks on the ground.
Oh, on the ground. Oh yeah, so that's definitely a different way. You can literally just look at the ground, find tracks, correct? Now that wouldn't be technology-wise, but it's back to good old-fashioned just hunting for it, right? And it can lead you to where you want to go, right? Because we're not just talking about GPS, we're talking about just finding different locations as well, and I like that. To go back on what Sydney was saying, sometimes hunters, if you're ever trying to find like an endangered species, or the deer population, what they do sometimes is they catch these animals, they tag them. Have you ever heard of this? They tag them and then they put them back out in the wild. And these deer or these endangered species, they're wearing like either a tag or something around their arm. You kind of see them at the zoo sometimes too. They've got little tags around their little paws or their little feet. But what they're doing is that is a GPS, some type of device that's letting them know where their location is. That way, if something is endangered, they can use it for population estimate, like how many exist nowadays, and if they can follow them if they want to, or again, they can just use it to see how many are out there, or they can use it for hunting. Someone told me earlier in another class, they'll find a deer when it's a baby, they'll tag it, and then they'll send it back out into the wild. And then a couple years later, when it's a buck, they go and find it. I've never heard of that, but I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Junior, you got something to say?
Did you know that whales also use a GPS like sonar? Whales also use.
I did not know that. What's the deal with that?
They use sonar to track other whales to see where their pod is.
Where their habitat is?
Or
Okay.
in their case, singing.
Okay. Okay, well I'll have to, since I haven't really heard it, that's interesting. I'm gonna do some more research on that myself. That's cool. And again, a lot of different animals they can do that with, just to tag and see where they're at. Moving on though, I want us to think right now, okay? I want to talk about some challenges. Challenges could be problems, or challenges could just be some ideas in society. But I want to talk about challenges that are present in our society today that are related to tracking locations and finding different locations that it would impact society. I want you to think about your school. I want you to think about your city. I want you to think about the state, the country, and even the world. How could our big idea, which is tracking, locating, and investigating locations, how can that impact society? What we're going to do is I'm going to give you about 1 minute by yourself to think of some, brainstorm, if you will. That's going to be number 4 on your sheet. Okay, and then I'm going to let you talk to your group members at your table, and you're going to share ideas, and then we're going to share as a class. So if you have any trouble getting started, here's an example. I know that a challenge with today's society, if we're talking about the country, a problem that I see sometimes are missing children. Right? We're always looking for missing children. It's terrible. But with technology that we have today, it's very easy to try to at least set up a way to locate these children. A lot of the times we do. Sometimes we don't. It's unfortunate. Okay, but these are the type of challenges and problems I'm thinking about right now. So I'm going to put 1 minute on the timer, and I want you guys to think about society problems related to school, city, state, country, or world that has something to do with locating and tracking. Okay, so no talking for 1 minute. Go. So you're going to write this on number 4. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have had some great ideas here. Okay, I want you to talk with your groups now. I'm going to give you about 4 minutes to talk with each other. Okay, you need to share what are some of the challenges in today's society. Go. Putting 4 minutes on the clock.